are thrilled to have right here on the Rich Eisen Show a longtime friend of the program and a friend in general. He is a member of the Indianapolis Colts as well. So your take on this, Matthew Hasselbeck, I am keen to hear. You have the floor. What are your thoughts on this whole debate in Deflategate, as it's being called?
I'm actually really surprised at how big this thing has gotten. Personally, you know, obviously for the Colts, we don't feel like this had any impact on our game. And we have a tremendous amount of respect for the Patriots, for Coach Belichick, and obviously for Tom Brady. And it's just shocking and almost sad that right before their Super Bowl, something that they have earned, this is, you know, really what everyone, and I mean everyone, is talking about.
Well, it's not just, I think it's two separate issues, Matthew, because I'm in agreement with you that it had nothing to do with the AFC Championship game. But then there's the other issue of just playing by the rules, just flat out doing what everybody else is supposed to do, and either skirting the issue or flat out cheating to avoid it. And in terms of that, we all know quarterbacks are very, walk me through how a quarterback's mindset about the football itself and why it's so important for you to be fully aware of the footballs and them to your liking.
Yeah, it's very important. It's an important piece for quarterbacks. You know, the only people that I think who care more about the footballs would be the kicker, the punter, and the holder, and those guys obviously use different footballs. But I equate it a little bit to the cleats that you choose to wear. Not everybody's the same. Wide receivers, you know, I see some of these guys, they'll wear brand new cleats they've never been worn before, and they wear those in the game. I could never do that. I like a pair of broken-in cleats. You know, you, Rich, you probably like a nice pair of broken-in Salvatore Ferragamo dress shoes before you do the podcast,
yes, sir.
The show. You know, so it's just a personal preference. You know, when it comes to footballs, you know, the quarterbacks, that's you know, something that some guys are more high maintenance than others. Some guys are pickier than others. But it is an important thing, and I don't know if people realize that. I mean, the football that we use, the Wilson football, it really is the greatest football in the world. But just like a nice dress shoe, it doesn't come ready for game, like ready for, you know, you got to like break it in, so to speak. And much like in baseball, you have a baseball glove, or, you know, these other sports that you have these things. And it's just maybe a side that the public doesn't get to see. But it, you know, it is a part of the sport.
Now, would it really be an advantage to have something 2 pounds per square inch more deflated than legal, in your estimation?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a little bit of a personal preference. You know, some quarterbacks for sure would prefer that, for sure. But maybe not everybody would. I remember we'd go up and play Minnesota early in my career when used the home team's footballs. And it was pretty brutal because Randall Cunningham, he liked his balls a certain way. I don't know how he threw these footballs the way they were, but they were seemingly like close to brand new, very pumped up. But he could chuck it. I mean, he could throw the ball, you know, 80 yards, no problem. So for most people, that would have been a struggle. For him, it was what he preferred. Back
in the mid-aughts, were you part of that group of quarterbacks that was led by Brady and Peyton Manning lobbying the league to allow you to use your own footballs on the road? Were you part of that group?
Yeah, I think everybody was a part. They got every starting quarterback to sign, I don't know if it was a petition or, you know, sign something that they then took to the competition committee. I was actually for it. I thought it was a good idea. I still think it's a good idea. And, you know, basically it was the same kind of thing. They were just looking for consistency throughout the league, and also just you know, I think you wanted to know that the other team wasn't doing something to hurt the outcome of the game. Like the other team wasn't, you know, purposely using a certain ball that would maybe be tougher for like a great passing attack to compete with, and they were a running team, something like that.
I'm here with Matthew Hasselbeck, quarterback, Indianapolis Colts, after the AFC Championship loss, and I want to hit you on that game in a couple of minutes, but I do want to just continue on with this, if you don't mind, this subject, Matthew, because so many people are consumed by this, and Brady's going to be up there on the podium later today. What do you think you're going to hear from Tom Brady in about an hour from now, Matthew?
Yeah, I really have no idea. You know, it's funny when you lose in the playoffs, especially in the playoffs, and you're out. the last thing you want to do is hear about the other teams that are remaining or the teams that are going on to play. And so, I'm sure even worse for the Green Bay Packers this week, but Colts and Packers, the last thing they want to do is hear football. And but this week it's been hard to get away from this. I mean, it's been everywhere, and obviously, I think we just kind of needed a week. Like, you need a week to recover from your loss, and then you're ready to kind of be a fan and watch the game. But so much talk has been about this football thing, and I understand there was a press conference this morning with Coach Belichick, and the players will talk today, and I have no idea. I really don't know what he'll say. I think everyone's excited to hear his take on it, because he is one of the best players of all time on the best teams of all time, and he's at the center of this of this conversation.
I just don't know what to make of it, right? I mean, because I'm just trying to see that if this truly does affect wins and losses, does it affect certainly in certain weather, the ability to throw it, to the ability to score points, the ability to beat a defense. I'm just trying to. Fans are just trying to see what to make of this whole thing.
Yeah, the thing I would say though, Rich, is that they don't need that. That's not the difference between the Patriots winning all these championships and not. I mean, they're so much better than the second place team, and they showed that against us this year. I mean, we as Colts, and we're looking at it like, all right, what are the things that we need to do to someday get by this team? Like, this is the team that seems to always stop us. If you want to win the AFC, you have to beat this team. So, this, what everybody's talking about, that's not the difference between the Patriots and the other teams. Yeah, it's not that kind of a competitive advantage, in my opinion. Yeah,
Matthew, because I'm sure you're in a bunker because of what happened on Sunday and trying to turn the TV off. But you hear Bettis on TV saying, yes, it's much more difficult for you as a defender to take the football away from me if it's deflated. And you hear Troy Aikman saying there's no way Brady didn't know about it and they should be popped more than the Saints. And Jerry Rice said if they win next week, there should be an asterisk next to it. And these are some big time names in the NFL. And I'm trying to wrap my arms around this thing.
Yeah, well, those are league issues. The league will handle that. They're very strict on that kind of stuff. I still remember I got fined $5,000 for having my socks too low my second year in the NFL.
Yeah.
And, I was still hurt by that. And you score a touchdown and you throw it underhand into the stands. The football, you throw it underhand, not a fine. You throw it overhand, it's a fine, like $5,000 or $6,000 or something like that. So. It's I think more just about uniformity is really what they want, and to me I think that's probably fair. To be honest, maybe that's the right number the PSI should be. Who knows? I really don't know, but again, those are league issues.
Sure.
And I get to sit back and I don't have to worry about that.
So are you done, Matthew? Or did you just play your last NFL game?
I saw your teaser. I was walking by, the TV was on, I saw your teaser. Maybe he played in his last NFL game. I didn't technically play in the game, Rich.
Well, you know what I mean. You dressed for it. And I like giving you, Matthew, I'll always pump you for the Heisman, although I should, or I'll always inflate you. I won't deflate you, So did you dress for your last NFL game then?
No, I don't think so. My contract's up here, but I'm hopeful to keep playing, and we'll see. I'd like to be back. It's been a good run. I really have enjoyed working with these guys. It's a great organization, great team. Andrew's been really fun to work with. I usually don't watch the Pro Bowl. Like the years that I haven't been in the Pro Bowl, and that's most of the years, I wouldn't typically watch it. But I think now I've got all these Colts teammates that are playing in the game, and they've kind of changed up the format a little bit. So I'm sort of excited to see it. I'm excited Andrew went 1 overall.
He did.
The kid's been 1 overall this year, 1 overall last year. He's never been anything besides the first overall pick. So
in any draft, I love that. That's right. In any draft, I don't know if you heard him when he was asked about how he felt about the loss in the AFC Championship game, and he used the word deflated. Now, was that on purpose? Was that on? Because he acted like that slipped out.
I take full responsibility for that. He got no sleep the night before. A few of us were up late, talking, playing a board game, that kind of thing. Yeah, so that was just a sleep deprivation.
Okay.
He doesn't try to be funny like that necessarily. I think he felt pretty bad about his
choice
of words, not intentional.
Was it Monopoly? What game were you playing? What were you playing with, Locke?
I can't say.
Oh, really?
I can't say, Rich.
Okay.
It's a secret.
What happens? It's like Fight Club? I didn't know that.
You know. What was it? What the Packers came out? They play Settlers of Catan. That came
apparently.
out recently?
Yeah.
Wasn't that their thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't want to give away secrets. Loose lips sink ships.
I can't have that. We can't have that, Matthew. Hey, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. And let me know. Hopefully, are we seeing you in Glendale? We seeing you in Arizona?
Yeah, I'll be there for a couple days. I'll
Okay.
be there for a couple days.
Okay.
So we'll see. Might run into you.
All right.
Might run into. I'll try to run into you. That's what I try to do. I try to run into important people when I'm down there, places like that. So
and I'm one of those
try to rub
people?
some elbows with Rich Eisen and company. Absolutely, Rich. Top of the list. A list.
All right, man. You're the best, Matthew. Thanks for joining.
Good to be with you, man.
You got it. Take care. That's Matthew Hasselbeck, who's not done. He's not done playing, not done dressing.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern. On Audience.